You are the type of owner who genuinely loves your dog, who reads the articles, watches the videos, and still cannot figure out why your dog acts out at the worst possible moments. Here's what nobody is telling you: your dog's behavior might not be a training problem at all. It might be a you problem. Not because you are failing, but because your body is broadcasting a signal your dog cannot ignore, and your stress is literally reshaping how they experience the world. What we are diving into today is called emotional mirroring, and it goes deeper than most dog content ever explores. This isn't about dominance, commands, or the right treat. It's about the invisible physiological feedback loop that runs between you and your dog every single day. Once you understand it, you'll never look at a reactive moment the same way again. Let us get into it. There's a concept in dog psychology that almost nobody talks about in plain language, and it is this: your dog is not just responding to the world around them. They are responding to the version of the world that you are projecting. Think about that for a second. Your dog doesn't read the news. They do not know your mortgage is overdue or that your boss sent a passive-aggressive email. But they do know that your shoulders are tight, your breathing is shallow, and your grip on the leash went from relaxed to rigid the moment you turned down that particular street. They feel all of it. And here's where it gets serious. When your body enters a low-grade stress state, something researchers call anticipatory anxiety, your dog's nervous system begins to mirror it. Their cortisol levels shift. Their pupils dilate slightly. Their attention narrows. You haven't said a word, you haven't done a single thing wrong by any training standard, and yet your dog is already on edge before the trigger even appears. That is the emotional mirror in action. This leads us to something called phantom reactivity, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Phantom reactivity is when your dog barks, lunges, or reacts to a perceived threat that is not actually threatening. The other dog across the street is just walking. The stranger on the corner is just standing. But your dog is treating the situation like a crisis. Why? Because your body already told them it was a crisis. The threat your dog is reacting to isn't always the stimulus in front of them. Sometimes it is the anticipatory fear living inside you. Here's a case that illustrates this perfectly. Imagine an owner who had a bad experience once. Maybe their dog got into a scuffle at a park, or a stranger startled them both on an evening walk. The event passed. Life moved on. Except their nervous system didn't fully let it go. Now, every time they approach a situation even remotely similar, their body tightens, their breath shortens, their pace changes. They start scanning the environment the way a soldier scans a street. And the dog, reading every single one of those micro-signals, concludes we are in danger, and they respond accordingly. The owner then labels the dog reactive. Maybe they blame the breed, the history, the age. They cycle through training programs wondering why nothing sticks. But no training program in the world can fix a problem that is being continuously recreated by the trainer's own unresolved physiological response. That's not a criticism. That's just the biology. Because here's what's actually happening in the body during all of this. When you experience stress, your adrenal glands release cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tense. Your scent profile literally changes. Dogs have an olfactory system that is somewhere between 10,000 and 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. They can smell cortisol. They can detect a shift in your sweat composition. They are reading a biochemical newspaper about your emotional state that you do not even know you are publishing. And because dogs are wired for social cohesion, because their survival has always depended on reading the emotional state of their pack, they do not just observe your stress. They absorb it. They synchronize with it. Their nervous system attunes to yours the same way your heart rate syncs with calming music when you are wound up. So the feedback loop looks like this. You feel anxious. Your dog senses the anxiety. Your dog becomes alert or reactive. You become more anxious because the dog is reactive. The dog escalates because you escalated, and around it goes. Now let us talk about what breaking this cycle actually looks like, because it is not what most people expect. It doesn't start with your dog. It starts with you noticing your own body before you even clip the leash. What is your jaw doing right now? Are your shoulders up near your ears? Are you already dreading the walk before it begins? These are the questions that matter, because your dog is about to take their behavioral cues directly from the answers. One of the most underrated tools in calming a reactive dog is controlled breathing. Not because breathing is magic, but because your dog can physiologically detect when your nervous system downregulates. When you take a slow, deliberate exhale, your heart rate variability improves, your cortisol drops, your muscle tension releases, your scent changes, and your dog, who is monitoring all of that in real time, gets the message the threat has passed. We are okay. This is why two owners can walk the same reactive dog and get completely different results. It's not always about technique. It's about what your nervous system is broadcasting through your hands, your posture, your gait, and your breath. The other piece of this that gets ignored is the concept of projected fear masquerading as caution. Many owners believe they are being responsible by staying vigilant, by staying on guard during walks, by preparing for the worst. And in some circumstances, genuine caution is appropriate. But when vigilance becomes a chronic baseline, when you are always scanning, always tensed, always half expecting something to go wrong, you are transmitting that state to your dog continuously. And they will live inside that transmission. Your dog doesn't know the difference between appropriate caution and unresolved anxiety. They just know what your body is saying. And if your body is saying danger every single time you step outside, their behavioral profile will reflect that over time. Not because they are a troubled dog, but because they are a very, very attuned one. Breaking the cycle means doing some honest internal work, alongside any behavioral work you do with your dog. It means asking yourself, am I tense on this walk because there's a real reason, or because something happened 6 months ago and I never fully exhaled? It means practicing your own nervous system regulation the same way you practice recall or loose leash walking. It means understanding that your dog's progress is directly tied to your own. This is not about blame. It is about responsibility in the deepest sense of the word. The ability to respond differently, to interrupt the loop, to stop sending the signal that keeps your dog locked inside your fear. When you start to do this work, something shifts. The walks get quieter, not because the world changed, but because your dog is finally getting a different broadcast from you. And a dog who feels a calm, grounded owner on the other end of the leash becomes a dog who doesn't need to protect you from threats that were never really there. If this reframed how you think about your dog's behavior, stick around. There's a lot more to explore about the connection between your emotional world and your dog's experience of it. Every video we put out goes deeper into the psychology behind what your dog is really responding to. So keep watching, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep paying attention to what your own body is doing. Your dog already is. Thanks for watching. If you loved this video, scan the QR code on the screen right now to subscribe and join the Pawsome Life family. Give your dog a belly rub for us, and we will see you in the next video.